Hi, and welcome to Bandaloom. Today we're going to make a Bandaloom exclusive called Hugs and Kisses. To make this band, we're going to be using white, red, and pink bands, our hook, an S-clip, and our bandaloom. Before we begin, we need to make sure that the arrows of the loom are facing away from us. And then we're ready to begin placing bands. We're going to start with the pink bands for the bracelet. So we're going to take a pink band, the bottom middle, and move to each side. And then we're going to place single pinks all the way up the outside of the loom. And then on the other side, same thing all the way up. All right, now that we've created the outside of our bracelet, we're ready to begin making the XO pattern. So we're going to start with an X. Well, actually, first we're going to build up one with the white. So we're building up with the white. Now we're going to start the X. The X's are going to be in red, as seen on the band. So we're going to work from the middle to the lower. Then again, always from the middle to the up, above it corner. And then we're going to go to the other side. And then again from the middle to the bottom. So we have our first X made. Now we're going to move to the O's, which we're making in the white. You can see the O. And that is going to start from this empty peg, the empty middle peg. You're going to go over from that peg we just worked on to the other side, and then we're going to close that off on the peg above. So now we have our X and our O, and we're going to repeat that XO pattern. Again, we're skipping. So now we're working on the middle empty peg above, and we're going to each corner to form our X. And then again with the white on the empty peg above. And then here is our last O. And then we're going to take the red color and create a triangle at the top. Now I'm going to show you, we do need to cap the X's and the O's, and we're just going to do that. On X's will be the centers, so X's are the centers, and then the O's are the middle two. So 2, 2, 2, and 2. You can just twist it around your finger once. and then place it. And I'm always matching the same color. So red on red, white on white. And you do that all the way up. And then we're going to put our last cap on that white O. And now you can see that you have your XO pattern started. And then you just want to make sure that all those middle pegs are covered with caps. So you can actually see here, if you stretch out the band, you can see where all those caps are. And they're really an important step, because without them, the bracelet will fall apart. So just, you can see throughout. Now that you're at this step, you're ready to turn it around and begin working. Now we're gonna work through the middle out. So we're ignoring right now the entire outside, and we're working middle to the sides. So to do that, you're going to reach through your white cap and grab the band just under it. Pull that out and over to the side. And the same thing, you're reaching now the next band over to the side. And you want to stop here and just make sure that this is what it looks like, because if you pull the wrong band, they'll twist. So you just want to look and see that you've pulled them over, that there is this empty space in the middle. And we have that, so we're ready to continue. Now again, we're working middle out. So we're going to reach in and under the cap, grab that top band. You can brace the cap with your finger, and we're pulling it, and we're actually pulling it down to that band we just worked on. And then we repeat, and you can actually see, it's pretty easy to see the band. And again, you're pulling that out, hold on to the cap so it doesn't move, and you're pulling it down. You can see here now you have your O formed. Okay, now we're going to start working on the X. We're going to reach underneath the cap and pull the band just under it. And we'll pull that up and over. And then we're going to reach to the next band under the cap. Pull that up and down. We're going to reach to the next band. Pull that up and over. And then the last band up and over. So this is the form for the X. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did for this O. Again, reaching underneath the cap to the top band. And that goes over. And you do the same thing on the other side, up and over. And then again for the top, remember we're reaching under the cap, and it's actually going to go to the peg below that we just worked on. And then repeating again. And then you can just continue that all the way to the top. Last one, you pull straight up. So at this point, this is what you should see with your XO pattern. And then you're ready to start working up the two sides. So you can start on either side. I'm going to work on the left. And you're just looping the pink straight up. You're just always reaching under and grabbing the pink bands and moving them forward. And the same thing on the other side. Grabbing only the pink. And moving it forward. And now you can check to see that you've looped all the bands. And we are now ready to remove this from the loom. And to do that, we're going to place the hook through the top peg with 2 bands. We're going to pull the 2 bands through, up and over. And then take our S-clip and place all the loops through. And then once you do that, you can remove. And then once your bands are off the loom, you're going to need to make the extension. You can do that one of 2 ways. One, you can use the loom, or you can use a second way, which I'm actually going to show you today. For this, you're going to see at the one side there's a longer band. In this case, it's our red band. You're going to reach your hook through both sides of the red band, and then take two pink bands, pull them through the red, and then catch the other side. And you can continue doing that as many times as you need. So you're taking your two pink bands, putting them over the hook, pulling the hook through the two that are connected to your bracelet, and then hooking it over. And I'll show you two more times. So again, you hook them over, pull them through, catch the other side, hook the bands, pull them through, catch the other side. And then once you have the number that you need, all you have to do is take all those bands and slide them onto the other side of your S hook. And there you have it, the Hugs and Kisses bracelet.